Several months ago, I made a video in which I said something along the lines of, I wish I could just tell you, I wish I could tell everyone. And just by telling you that you would know that you are unconditionally loved and accepted in an ultimate sense, in a very real way. I wish you could know that that's the truth and that you would no longer have to feel doubt about that or any emptiness or loneliness. I wish that you knew that from the beginning and after it's all said and done, that you are absolutely loved and accepted. Unfortunately, this isn't how knowledge is passed on, or this isn't how we acquire knowledge. We can't just, in this world, in this life, we can't just blindly accept things that people tell us as knowledge or as truth. And many people do access this experience through faith. Faith can be a very powerful tool to access such experiences of feeling loved unconditionally and accepted. And I mean in an ultimate sense, like in an absolute sense. And right along with that, tied in with that, is another thing that I wish I could just tell you and that you would know. I wish I could tell everyone on this planet and that they would know. And that they wouldn't need to question it. And they wouldn't need to doubt or anything like that. I wish I could just tell you that death is an illusion and that you would understand everything that I mean about that. I wish I could tell you that death is not the end of consciousness. It's not the end of the conscious experience. It's a transformation or a returning to a former state of consciousness that is more open and less limited and less narrow than this one. I wish everyone understood that because I think it would help many people. Most of us, I mean, that's like one of the most basic fears, right? That's the fear of death. The fear of the unknown is the fear of death. It's just the most extreme example of the fear of the unknown for most of us, I think. And yeah, it's more like, I wish people understood that really it's more like waking up from a dream. In the sense that maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you've had a dream, and it doesn't need to be falling, but I will use falling as the example. Maybe you've had a dream, I know I have, where I have fallen from a very high point in space, maybe top of a skyscraper. Let's just use that example. I lose my balance and I fall, and it feels so real. I can feel myself falling, and it's like, you feel it, like that fear that you've had in the back of your mind, or maybe at the forefront your whole life of death. You're about to face it. You're about to find out what it is, and you're terrified. And it's not just about the physical pain that's coming, but it's like, this is it. Like, I've screwed up so bad. It's all over. It's just going to be black, lights out, no more consciousness. And you're preparing for that ground to hit, and you're falling, and then you close your eyes, and right when you hit, you wake up in your bed, and there's this immediate sense of relief. Extreme relief, knowing that I'm back home. I'm back home, back to baseline. That's more what death is like. Immediate relief. And also, it is returning home. Death, as we often conceptualize it, or as we often imagine it, is it's an illusion. It's because we identify with the body and we believe we are the body. So when a body drops, when a body dies, or when we watch a body being lowered into the ground, it's so tragic. It hurts so bad, but that's because we believe that's what we are. But there's nothing I can say to convince you. There's nothing I can't have a debate with somebody and let them know. But like I said, I wish this were the case, though it's not. I wish it were the case that I could just tell you death is not the end. And that I could tell you, you are loved unconditionally and absolutely. And that everything is fine. I wish I could tell you that and that you would feel it and experience it and never forget that. But it's not how things will work here. And though, like I mentioned, faith can be used as a tool. One can put faith in my words or faith in the words of their religious teacher or whatever. I didn't mean to compare myself to a religious teacher there. I just mean like that's normally what we associate faith with is, the words of a teacher. But faith in the words or in the messages of anyone, that can be used as a tool to believe or accept things that they say. And, but that's not what I mean. I wish I could tell you, I wish I could actually pass my knowledge or experiences to you. You would feel them in the moment and it would just sink in and it would be understood. Because there is no convincing anyone of any of this. There's no way to explain it in the first place. But even if I could, how could you be convinced? You would need to have your own experience. And I know many of you here, maybe not many, I know some of you here are on the same page. And it may be because of psychedelic experiences, transformative psychedelic experiences. It may be from astral projection experiences. It may be from actual near-death experiences or otherwise. And then, like I said, those who access this knowledge through faith or through teachings of others or whatever. But it's just that I know so many people, and it's not a bad thing. It's like in this world, it feels like a good thing. I see the positive in the experience of those who are just very or just absolutely skeptical about everything. When it comes to anyone who's in a position of authority, we should be highly skeptical of everything they say and do, whether it's religious authority or political authority or whatnot. So I'm not saying it's bad to be skeptical or any of that. But it's because of that you can't just say things and people accept it, And then even if you try to explain your own experience, for example, if I tell you that I gained this knowledge through transformative psychedelic states in the past and then integrated it, most skeptical individuals would just say, oh, do you mean hallucination? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's bet on it, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, it's like, I don't know. I just wanted to make another essentially pointless video expressing this desire that I have that is impossible to fulfill. This desire to, like I said, broadcast to the whole world, telling them that, like this, because when I found that out, and I still think about it all the time, and I mean, I constantly think about it, but especially when I found it out, like, it's not the end of anything. It's the end of your human life. It's the end of your, this timeline with this dude. This dude is his ass is grass, there's not much more time. But when I found out that it's like, oh, like I said, it's that moment, you brace for it. Oh my God, it's going to happen. I'm going to be destroyed. And then it's like, oh, I'm back home. That was a dream. That wasn't even my body. That was a dream body. That I'm back home. As far as what's going on, what is there to do, what's actually happening to describe the home, I can't do that. And if I tried, I think that would just convolute the whole message even further. I just wish I could just transmit that raw data, just the matter, the actual important information that comes from all of that, from these transformative experiences or from near-death experiences or astral travel states and any other way that somebody might have access to this information. It's more about the information to me than anything else. But those things, like I said, go hand in hand. The fact that death is an illusion and the fact that you are loved and accepted with no conditions. There are no conditions. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what happens here. That whole concept of punishment in an afterlife state is a lie. That's always been a lie. And that's part of the fear of death for many people. Has that it's tied in with their fear of death is the fear of eternal torture by a supernatural God being or demon or Satan or whatever. They fear that for mistakes made in this very narrow experience of consciousness and for mistakes made in this very temporary state that we're in. You make a mistake here and you're fucked forever in hell. That for many people, I mean, as if the fear of death, the fear of the absolute unknown wasn't profound enough, that gets tacked onto it. And then it almost feels like people's whole life path gets hijacked sometimes by religious structures. And it's not all bad. Like, I see both sides of that within myself. I mean, there's this highly critical nature of this highly critical side that I have of religion, right? I say someone's life might be hijacked in a way because they could be so many things, they could do so many things, but it's all about fear. It's all about managing their fear, and they do that through the system, whichever one they grasp onto. There are others, and that's the distinction. There are others who fear has nothing to do with it. They're not, a Christian, for example, because of fear of hell. It's like they already were that person. They already were expressing kindness. They already were living like Christ in a way, or that's what they wanted to do. And then they found the religion and they joined. Like, I know people who, through their church or through that religion, they've done and they are doing real missionary work, like building homes for people who are poor as hell and helping them and bringing food and doing like actual real things that I've never done, that most people I know have never done. And those are the people that I look up to in the religion conversation. I look up to those who actually, you don't just go to church and it's not just about, telling yourself. And not that that's wrong. I think it's a really powerful tool for the individual. And though I don't align with any religion, what I'm talking about in this video, it would be considered by many, I think, to be like religious content. Or it seems like I'm a religious person or something. I don't know. But I don't identify with an individual one. But yeah, there are those, like I said, it's more about the personal thing, and that's beautiful, but it's not, when it's more than that, when it's more than just like avoiding going to hell, or even just trying to calm yourself down and manage that fear of the unknown and the fear of possibly going to hell and just trying to do everything by the book only for that reason. I don't think that's the majority. I just know that these individuals exist. I've come across them where it's like, and they're not even really necessarily good people. They're, unfortunately, many times, I mean, at the core, I believe we're all good people. But yeah, I know highly religious individuals who are some of the most judgmental, and it's a nasty judgment that they express to others. I know individuals like that. And some people are raised within a family like that, or both sides of their family, or their entire family is that way. And for that reason, they turn their back on religion, and they never, and even God, they turn their back on everything, and they just go full-blown, full-blown hedonism on the other end. And it is what it is. We all have our path and whatnot. But to get back to the point, I'm just saying that I really admire those who are religious, but they're doing the work. And with Christianity as an example, they're doing Christ's work. They're actually servants of God. In an abstract sense, I might say that we are all servants of God. We're all parts of God doing God's work, no matter what we do, even on the dark side of things, because this is a dualistic realm. And it needs to be that way. There needs to be the good guy and the villain in order for this all to work here. And maybe you don't believe in that, but it sure seems to be the case. Like, this is a strange place we're in. So in an abstract sense, I might say, okay. ¿Qué hay? Yo no veo nada. No hay nada. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna go for a walk. It's been colder than ever here, and it was raining all day yesterday. And she's been cooped up. Sometimes we go on like 2 walks a day, and she's been cooped up. And I've been waiting for it to reach like the peak temperature, just for just to create a better experience, I guess, for both of our sakes, for the sake of us both. But yeah, we gotta walk. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.